Tiny's been one of TNC Predator's favorite heroes of the group stage, and overall just a really solid hero that we've seen any team pick. It's just, I see an immense amount of magic burst damage. I would be terrified if I'm this Enchantress right now.
The Tiny Axe is really good against Ench in the mid game as well. You don't get attack speed slowed, a lot of physical. Ench does have low armor, but you can't hit her normally. But having the ability to do physical damage without having to hit her is really good, I think.
So if this was like a team secret draft on the side of TNC, I would have no idea which hero is playing well. We could see like mid AA, we could see 3-position Sand King. Based on TNC, which way are you leaning towards the AA Sand King and Tiny being played?
I think AA 5, Tiny 4, Sand King 3.
Okay.
They don't play mid Tiny, do they?
I don't believe they do. I mean, it was like Mineski, right? Moon's like the biggest one, but I don't think TNC really plays that much.
I know OG plays it. Thompson played mid Tiny, I think, once or twice in the group stage.
Do you know what they played it against? Sorry, I'm trying to think like if it's just like a matchup kind of thing, or...
I think Thompson likes it here. I believe he's like gold rank too, so he plays it.
He's like, just give me it. I just want to burst. I want to set that record. I want to get a lot of kills. Yeah. And I was curious, what do you think about that DP last ban? Why do you ban a DP against a team who has mag? Like, does that say anything about what you're going to pick for middle?
It could kind of push the Tiny more towards mid, because since he has really high health, DP can siphon him in mid game and kind of control him, but I think it's more for the lifestealer.
Okay.
DP matches really well against lifestealer all stages of the game. Late game, at 25, you'll get a haste talent, so lifestealer can never catch you. But even before that, the spirits go through rage. You can kind of kite the lifestealer, you know, make a fight a little slower, get through rage, silence him, and kind of burst him.
And even beyond pushing Tiny towards or out of mid, you also need push on towers. Death Prophet would have been a great hero, because Vici Gaming kind of lacking in the ability to take structures right now, because TNC Predator have amazing wave clear. How are you going to ever make your way to a tower and actually start dealing damage to it?
And even just like the group up factor, right? Like if you look, cool, they have a mag, reverse polarity's fun, but when you have a Witch Doctor and Enchant, it's not like, yo, we're ready to just go and team fight you.
But they'll be able to heal, right?
Wait.
There's an ancient apparition on the other side. What are you gonna do?
Why did they take that Witch Doctor? I'm thinking now. Obviously, they enjoy the hero, nice multi-stun. If they do like a tri-lane, Witch Doctor level 1 is pretty good.
True.
And there it is, the Jug. Okay. I think you had to do it versus the A, and you have the Empower, and you're going to be able to ramp up extremely quick.
Yeah, they banned I think Sven could have been a good pick if they didn't ban it.
Yeah.
It matches fairly well against the lifestealer, and that's one of the few heroes right now that wants to go BKB early and is melee. A lot of the ones are like Gyrocopter goes BKB early this patch, but they need a melee hero for this Empower. So I like the Jug.
Just a hero that's going to have to be very, very careful about how he uses that spell immunity. Both carries have that sort of option.
That's what Tiny does, right? Tiny just makes you, it really does, once he gets that Blink Dagger, it just makes you think, like, is he behind me? Where is he at? You always have to know where he is on the map.
I got a question, Gunnar. Why do you think that the Shadowblade Tiny build died out so heavily? Is it because this Aghanims has kind of taken precedence, or just Blink Dagger's too good? Because Tiny's a hero that's been competitive for an extremely long time, so many builds, and right now we're seeing like a very, very pop-in, do a bunch of damage, flashy Tinys.
Shadowblade in general has gotten a lot less popular. A lot of teams are playing a lot more fast, a lot more together. And the Shadowblade playstyle was like the Slark's Shadowblade playstyle, where he would Shadowblade in, he'd find this Crystal Maiden, kill a Crystal Maiden, and then walk away as well.
The Assassins.
Yeah, so a lot of Dota, there's no more Assassins. The Assassins are more, in a team fight, you jump the backline. You don't find a solo hero anymore. That's kind of, a lot of teams have improved, I think, over the past couple years. So I think Shadowblade kind of, as well, people are playing more detection, more dusts, even gems for no invis to just deward.
That's true.
So
I was just surprised that whenever Sentry Wards got limited, I thought that, oh, maybe this makes invis heroes a little bit better, but it didn't seem to be the case. And especially since TNC have a lifestealer on their team, you want to make as many Blink vehicles as possible, be it either the Sand King or the Tiny.
They banned Kunkka, that gives them, it's more team fight. I think they're banning a lot of team fight right now.
I mean, they need it. Like, they need somebody to group up. Someone who can, like, rotate now. None of these heroes rotate. Enchantress wants to sit in the lane. Mag wants to empower the Jug. Witch Doctor, I mean, it's a Witch Doctor. Like, you're going to be lucky to get boots at 5 minutes kind of thing. They need someone who can move around the map, and Kunkka's the best one from the mid line.
I really like the last 3 bans from TNC. The Kunkka, Death Prophet, Ember, all of them match really well with the Magnus, and then it gives them this early game team fight. All 3 of them. So I think TNC has really nice bans against Vici.
I'm just baffled at the Vici picks. They've picked 3 heroes who really like to heal.
Yeah.
Juggernaut with the healing ward, Witch Doctor, and Enchantress, and now they're going to wrap it up with what is most likely a mid Lina for Vici Gaming.
I like it. I mean, you should be able to dominate lane. Obviously, TNC has the last pick. We'll see what they want to take, but You have someone who can move around. You have someone who can actually burst down. Maybe the lifesteal, you know, you hit a stun from Fog, you get the Laguna off. You do have the ability to now kill that lifestealer, which is nice.
I could see them.
You're tanky.
Yeah, I could see TNC picking a 4 here and putting Tiny mid.
Okay.
Okay.
It matches up well against the Lina. You have a lot of HP, so her nukes don't do a high like percentage of your health, and you can kill her the whole mid game. Once you get your blink, she dies. She doesn't get HP that much. I think they could pick Rubik. I think could be a dissing hero, and maybe Earthshaker. Both of them are on ban. Tim's really likes those type of playmakers in the mid and late game.
Is there a way Alina just destroys like a Tiny in the laning phase? Like you get the stun, you get a couple of the creeps, and you just out harass him, or no? Eventually Tiny will just catch up.
Yeah, because I would assume that Lina having such high range and Tiny having to go back to get a tree every like 5 seconds would make it pretty Lina favored. But
A lot of the time you get boots really early on Tiny, even some mid-start boots as a mid laner, which is kind of unheard of for other heroes. They get into range, they just toss combo. The Lina will lose like 60% of her health. A combo for Tiny from the Lina, he'll lose like 15, 20, 30, maybe max, and he can just salve up.
that's
It's more like the mid game, I think. A lot of Vici game these heroes are squishy, and if he goes mid, I think this Ags build, this Blink Echo Ags,
So fun.
is really nice.
Yeah. And it is the Queen of Pain.
they're gonna go traditional. It's Queen of Pain versus Lina in the mid lane. Really curious to see how this one's gonna shape up, but I'm gonna give it to someone who will know a little bit better. It's the Banana, it's the Slamma, it's the Jamma, it's BSJ.
This game, I think we have a classic hold the fort for Vici. They have Empower, and the only problem I have with an Empower lineup is if you lose too many objectives so that you don't have enough space on the map to farm. But I feel like they have a lot of kill potential and burst on TNC, but they don't have the best tower taking potential after they get those kills. So I feel like they're going to have to get too many kills on TNC in order to close off the map for Vici. So I'm going to have to favor the Empower lineup. But if TNC is able to apply that aggression and turn those snowballing kills into more objectives, I think they'll have a great chance of taking this. I'm going to give it over to Toby Wan and Cinderin. Take it away.
You know, it's a beautiful time when BSJ is sitting there saying, you know what, TNC's got to be aggressive, because that's exactly what we want to see, Sind.
Yep, it is, and this game is definitely a clash of styles. Vici Gaming, toward the end of the groups, I want to say, started playing a little bit slower in some of their games, and they've taken this style into this game. And I share a lot of the reads and thoughts of the panel and BSJ here as far as what the strengths and the weaknesses of each lineup are. And my biggest concern for Vici Gaming is how do you find fights? You have your catch is Skewer and Cask.
It's almost like we have to go back to the older Magnus. Was like, I blink instantly RP and then Skewer back.
But he's a position 4.
He is a position 4.
It takes a while to get those items out. So yeah, it's going to be tricky, I think, for him to get these things done in the game. And when you look at TSC's lineup, it's the other way around. They have plenty of ways of starting the fight. They have a Tiny who's probably going to get a dagger. He is position 4, so also a bit slower, but Sand King is a great catch.
Yep.
They have the Infest into Queen of Pain that can potentially jump the backlines and get kills. But at the same time, maybe slightly playing on a timer, not too good at taking towers.
Yeah, but that's what TNC always plays like. You got to have them being aggressive. This is what it is. Just run forward. We have our combinations for kills. The timing as well doesn't also seem to be limited. Like, you don't have to wait for the infest before you go for a kill. The draft panel was talking about this tri-lane that they could actually get away with running if you want to get up in the face of VG Gaming. If you want to try and restrict this area, the VG needs to farm up, needs to be able to control to make the most of that Empower. So,
There's so much. I'll let them release.
yep.
Okay,
Alright.
we're good.
Out
All
of
right.
the system, or it's just on cooldown for the
There we
moment.
go. So yeah, as far as TNC's game goes, because of the nature of how their lineup works, with being very kill hungry and having a lot of stuns and fighting potential in team fights, and Vici being a little more lacking in that department, a lot of the time games like these get very decided in the first 10 minutes, because if the team that has all this catch and all this aggressive potential gets rolling, and the other team can't fight back, sometimes the game they just run out of steam really quickly. Vici Gaming, we had a game with that with their mag where it started losing map control. On the other hand, if Vici Gaming's laning goes well, TNC can't punish as hard as they want, and then all of a sudden you have a free farming Magnus or a Jugger with Empower, which you have to deal with. So.
Yep. So they can't let him have that space. They've got to really try and control VG Gaming. The first battle for the runes is going to be, well, probably not that much of a fight. Tims isn't really going to have a battle against VG Gaming on the bottom lane, and there will be the contest by Cuckoo, as well as AU, which Paparazzi will have nothing to do with. So again, it's just that one floater around the runes, but it's going to be a straight 2-2 trade.
Yep.
So we actually get tri-lane versus tri-lane for the moment. This is how everything always starts. How long do you actually hold this? Like if you're Vici Gaming, like how fast do you pull the Magnus back?
I think they're just not... I'm not sure they're getting what they want here.
Well, they're body blocking the wave for the Radiant side, and they're letting theirs go.
Yeah, that's pretty standard nowadays,
Yeah.
because what will happen now is this wave will push at the bottom lane. It will push into Enchantress, and she can play control on her side of the lane. But TNC, I think, did the right thing here. You put the Sand King bottom, you get the supports to just stay top and give Lifestealer a good start, and then eventually you can start making some moves. TNC
They're already
is already
changing.
moving around. And Sand King is one of the better heroes at dealing with these aggressive tri-lanes. You can hide in the Sandstorm, you can buy this Quelling Blade right now, put down a sentry when they sentry. If you eat their sentry, they can't kill you. And I think there's only one sentry in play here for Vici Gaming, only one on DY, as Magnus is already left and is going top to help Yang
Yeah.
after the switcheroo.
They both were holding it, but you're right, it's moved off that bottom lane. Still wait for the time for it. Tims and Armel trying to play against Ori. Normally it's meant to be a little aggressive early on, especially with the Tims Tiny. Always looking for the right opportunity to attack. Same time, Gabby. Greatest thing about a lifestealer, you've got so much sustain in your own lane up on that top, so you're going to be okay. Especially with the help from Ancient Apparition right behind you.
The lane gets tricky for Lifestealer when Enchantress hits 6. If she hits it early and Lifestealer doesn't have total free farm, but the free farm aspect is probably in play. It's an Ench Magnus lane. It's very weak. Ench is strong by herself. Magnus doesn't really contribute very much, but he needs to get experience somewhere. So he's just
Tims, he's trying to kill off DY. That's not going to work though, but almost did.
Cute. Cute try.
It's like the worst creeps as well that you can be thrown into, the Ancient Prowlers.
Yeah. But yeah, Lifestealer will be okay happy up here. I think the challenge for Vici Gaming in their safe lane is to get Yang 6 as soon as possible without giving Fade no game on the mag. So every minute he will pull this camp, more than likely. And if Ench can get 6 in the meantime while he's doing this, they will end up winning this lane, which has a Magnus in it. If you win your Magnus lane, you're generally very, very happy with that. Doesn't even have to be a huge win. Even a draw most of the time when you have a support mag is a great outcome.
You should talk about winning the lanes. The one you were talking about before is like SK can hide inside the Sandstorm and farm on bottom lane. Hasn't had to use the Sentry and Quelling Blade and hasn't even really got that much CS. He's 5-0 against the 15-4 of Paparazzi. I was expecting Paparazzi to have a pretty good game. Like, Juggernaut hasn't really been the most popular of heroes, but Paparazzi, I don't think there's been a single game where you've said he's performed poorly. And he's going to make this Juggernaut work, especially in the early.
Yeah, I used to have... When you think back 1 year, I used to consider Paparazzi one of the more unstable carries in his previous composition in the team. Would sometimes overextend, would make reckless decisions, get killed too much for a carry. I think he has improved a lot lately and really bumped himself up to the top of the list of the best carries in the world. Mainly, it's not really his mechanics that have improved much, it's his decision making. Just understands the map better, knows the limits of his heroes better. And it's showing in their results this year for Vici Gaming.
I feel like I also, like on both of these teams, it's the supports that make space for a lot of these cores too. Like, DY's been having a great time, but here comes your toss. It's Tims going to work very early on. Paralyzing cast make it difficult to move forward. The Avalanche buying space, combining with the Barra Strike. This will be first blood. Going the way of Gabby. Paparazzi, there's no real way he can intimidate them to get off his support.
That's great news for Gabby to get the kill. 300 gold, it's the same as 6.5 creeps. Now you're going to have the swap going around, so Sand King will still stay bottom for now, looking to pull. And I guess he's waiting to see what Vici Gaming's rotations are. Now that Enchantress has TP'd bottom, they might want to swap something around again, and that looks to be the case. Gabby is now starting to run across the map while Sand King stays bottom to face the Enchantress.
Tips is going to go towards mid. Shadow Strike out. Already line strike away from Ori. Connects on Armel. Thanks to that regeneration, he's got all the mana and the health to fight this one. Even the help coming in from AU. Now they may even get more. Tims has got tossed back. Magnus arrived. He'll go for a quick skewer, grabbing two with the paralyzing cast. Tims as well as AU have to separate themselves up, but look at Armel. Blinks underneath the tower. Kills off Fate, copping a hell of a lot of damage, but they've got 3 heroes here. TNC as one. They push underneath the tower. TP supports coming in. Maybe now it's a little too deep from Tims.
As one. They feed the Tiny in the trees. Yeah. Didn't get the toss that he wanted there on the Witch Doctor. A melee creep came in the way, so Tims could not get the target that he wanted. But at the very least, they were diving with the chat wheel active, so looking to be in good spirits.
It's what you want to see if you're a TNC fan, right? Like, they're getting in there, they're fighting hard. It may not always make total sense, but that's how you topple one of the strongest teams in the tournament.
I like the mindset, though, that they're just trying to put the pressure, right? They're even though that was an overextension, the idea of playing this hard aggression and just keeping on cycling your cooldowns to get bonus kills, I think is a good approach. You don't want to just sit back and chill, and they've made some good laning adjustments by ensuring that the Sand King is playing against Enchantress, so Lifestealer has a better time. But Lifestealer against Jugger lane is completely fine. They're both going to farm. If Jugger gets some kill potential with a spin, you just rage it off, and you're completely, absolutely safe and sound, so no problem there. Vici Gaming, however, are still the ones with the early lead. They've just got the better gold out of their lanes overall, mid lane.
Orange being attacked, so will Elgato. He's going to run straight past him, looking for the primary kill onto the Lina. Toss him up, throw him down. Okay.
He's dead.
Yeah.
Confirmed dead.
Confirmed.
And they did this with the Siege Creep alive too. They might want to keep this alive, but they can't do it. There's no additional creeps, no glyph. And this will not turn into any tower damage. Something to keep in mind, as we've talked about, this team doesn't have the best pushing potential, so you really need to play around those catapults. And the gank timing was good, but the wave was dead.
We're going to go again.
Lina nuked it out.
Wait, hang on. There's a sentry ward down. Tims is... he's playing because he thinks he has the advantage with the extra information, but Fade's here. DY will start with the Maldic, skewer him over into Ori, combining with the Laguna Blade. Tims, man, I know he wants information. I know he feels confident, but that Maldic pop is going to finish him off.
And yeah, he wants to get in here. He wants to get information in the enemy jungle because obviously you're playing against the Magnus and Power lineup. They're going to be stacking camps for the Jugger to farm later. And while Jugger is farming and playing defensively in the jungle, the Enchantress can just play super aggressively in lanes because she's so hard to kill. And that's a nice balance in this lineup, is the pressure that can come from that hero as well as the Lina pushing out waves to keep TNC having to go back and defend and clearing up, giving them that space.
And here they go again with the Observer and Sentry. They're making sure Ori can't see him coming right up the hill. They'll block TNC into the mid. Paralyzing cast can make this a little bit more problematic. Ori is getting a lot of damage out. Hey, Yu's going to go down. Ori will still fall for this course, but Yang's had time to TP over. Armel TPing out. One more impetus help be enough damage. And Armel, just not enough time on that TP to get away to safety.
Yeah, they were super ready to help out there. Might see a bit of a change up from Ori in this game. Maybe getting a little tankier in his build would be super useful. They seem to be targeting him really hard. Maybe getting one bracer or a raindrop, anything that can give him just that little extra time for them to connect, and this could go even better.
But I think he's already had 3 of the deaths of the 5 kills the TNC has claimed. So
they're targeting him really hard, but guess what that means? That just means the Enchantress and Jugger are having great games. And now that Gavi's playing against Ench, you see the problem. He's getting zoned out. Won't be able to farm here, and he's going to leave this lane. It's not feasible for him to stay up here. And of course, you have him power lineup. Sure, you target out one core, but you're not even targeting the guy who's going to, carry the game, which should more than likely be the Juggernaut with Empower. So the upside, of course, is the guy that they are targeting is the primary playmaker. And if you stifle Lina a bit, Vici Gaming will be playing more defensively, but so far it's okay. They're getting what they need.
Yeah, TNC need to add more pressure. But they still don't have that perfect timing yet. The Infest from Gabby just being used for farming and lane presence for the moment. And Cuckoo doesn't have that delivery system with a Blink Dagger, but it looks like they're going to give him top lane. But it really does feel like SK needs to get a lot more out of this game before TNC can be properly enabled, even with Tim's toss.
Both of the items he has queued up on Sand King are super good this game. I suppose you will get the dagger first, but I still think you get Veil after that. It's incredible for your whole team. They have insane amounts of magic damage to get amplified by it. Oh, he's going to get dusted.
All right, Cuckoo, however, Burrow strikes the other side. He'll be away.
Okay, minus 90 gold. There's nobody there to help him. That kill is just flat out not happening from Yang. But maybe a bit of a fear factor going forward.
Cuckoo feels fine enough just to buy up the bottle as well. Just walk through, back up to full health and decent mana. Good timing for it as well, as the 10-minute bounty runes are about to spawn. TNC's looking to fight around the bottom, but Radiant scan up on the hill. It does ping, so they're already a little bit concerned. Witch Doctor throws out the cast, won't bounce to anyone but Juggernaut. Ready to fight, they need some damage with Maldic already being committed. Ancient Apparitions back to relative safety, but with 3 seconds to the runes, Sentry wards are down. Witch Doctor getting really caught out by the Avalanche. Maybe with the heal, no, it's still not going to be enough. But PG Gaming, they want to fight. Shockwave connects onto the Infest. Tiny, where are you going? Yeah, you've got someone else inside of you now. Gabby will pop out. Paparazzi's already got the kill on Tim's. Well, up on top, Cuckoo keeping Yang away from the runes, but because he barrier striked in, no escape. Sandstorm was just on cooldown. And Yang, well, he already had the dust anyway, so big kills from VG Gaming happening on both sides of the map.
And it's Siege Creep Wave. They're pushing out bottom. Enchantress is starting a push up top as well, has 2 waves. And that catapult, so bottom tower definitely going down. Mid tower, see Fade immediately walking over here to try and defend it. Will more than likely be absolutely successful. There's
Trouble DY. Nah, Tims has already killed him.
and he's dead. That's really high levels on Tiny. Level 7 now, minute 10. That's great for him.
He's been involved in all of the kills. All 7. 2 kills, 5 assists.
The Force on Vici Gaming are happy. We talked about this is the early game, the early stage of the
Blink
game.
in.
When,
Skewer underneath the tier 2 tower in mid. Fade. Sonic Wave pushes him back. The Shadow Strike was going to kill him, but Armel really trying to push the issue. Ori will arrive, but it's all a little too late.
So another extra kill going the way of TNC onto Fade, but where's the tower damage? Are you limiting the Vici Gaming lineup from getting what they want accomplished? They got the bottom tower, they're almost getting the top tower, and this is the farming side that's doing the pushing, right? This is the lineup that you expected would maybe be a little bit slower, and they are still the first ones to get a tower and almost get the second one. So very good news for Vici Gaming.
They're trying to go up for Enchantress. The Ice Blast is coming in. They just have to hold him there, and they're able to do so. Yang
Nice execution.
felt really good about pushing the tower as well, but the Midas took out the catapult, and then the push power just came a little too slow, and still by himself. Just in case you needed to raise the spirits.
Yep.
So VG, like, you've still done heavy damage to the tier 1 tower up on top. You've taken the bottom tier 1 tower as well. Is this that point where you're actually happy to let this tier 1 tower go? Should the TP in?
This is pretty dangerous.
Well, here comes your Avalanche already. DY, open wounds up, can't move away. Paralyzing cast, making it difficult for TNC to instantly disengage. Paparazzi has the Omni Slash available. Here comes your Ice Blast, however. Yang and Paparazzi both getting chilled to the bone. And they need more help to arrive. Fade's thinking about making his own play. He's going to skewer himself away. He wanted to skewer into the RP if they really want to have the fight, but maybe now Ori can find an exiting hero. With a Lion Strike Array, they control Cuckoo. He'll Barrow Strike away, but because he's been dusted up, one more attack. He went down to 18 HP. The Shockwave, it pulls him back down to 29. They still need one more. The Slave will reach from afar. Ori channels the power of the dragon.
Really nice
Right
spell.
at the Sand King.
Super good spell casting. They hit so many things right on the edge. The Shockwave was great. The Dragon Slave in the end, just barely clipping. They get the impetus off as well before he gets down. Super nice from Vici Gaming. And I thought they were going to lose this tower and maybe a couple of kills, but they end up holding it barely, and they are the ones rewarded with a tower kill. They get this on the Jugger. He's now far ahead of the curve.
He's right in front of 3 heroes.
And, yep. But he's not walking up.
All right.
Maybe old Paparazzi would have farmed that camp. But new Paparazzi.
They were open for it. The Ice Blast just flew straight over the top of him.
Version 2.0 doesn't make the mistake anymore.
And that's the kind of clean, sharp play. That's the reason why a lot of people were backing Vici Gaming coming into this TI.
Yep.
Like even over teams like LGD. So Fade's getting his time to farm up inside the jungle. There's so much space in the jungles. DY earning all the fantasy points by stacking every single possible camp he can.
You love that, don't you? Do you have him in your team today?
Of course I do.
Oh, of course.
Of course I do. Like, you're 14 minutes into the game and he's got 13 fantasy points. That's how fast DY moves.
But he also has a haste now, so
Yeah.
also moves fast.
That was the intended visual pun.
Oh, I didn't know you were looking at that. I'm
No.
looking at my own stuff.
I'm looking at everything, man. I see all. Gabby takes the tier 1 tower up on top. Actually, he misses the last hit on it. But still be a tier 1 tower dropping. The mid tier 1 tower is being chipped away. Fade will finally come out and defend that. But VG Gaming starting to have some damage done to their map control. Losing the T1 tower up on top as well as mid. This is really going to start to feel a restriction and an opportunity for TNC to at least gain some vision. If you can get those orbs down, see where VG is moving.
I thought Vici were not going to fight the top tower, but defend everything else, or try to defend everything else in the game. But showing that they already want to defend the top tower, I think they're willing to fight for every tower on the map. The question is, are TNC, they're getting a bit surprised here in mid, have to pop the glyph.
Ice
3
Blast
heroes
is
came
coming
out
in.
here. Smoke.
Support's arriving as well. The Ice Blast into the back lines. He'll connect over only on Fade. Cuckoo and Armel TP'd into the side trees with Tims. But VG is fine with this. It's still going to be a 2-2 rune trade. Yang still building up, and if TNC want to fight, VG are more than ready. Level 2 Omni Slash. The Manta style is freshly done over on Paparazzi. Ori with the Yule Scepter knows he's able to control or potentially escape. The only thing they're really missing from this fight is kind of Fade's Blink Dagger. Then it feels a lot better for VG. Then there's that initiation you were talking about.
And they don't have to brute force this mid tower, but what they're accomplishing by going there is they're forcing TNC to react, and that means they're not making their own moves. So it's the good old saying, right? Sometimes a good offense is the best defense. Is that how it goes?
Yeah,
Something like that. Sometimes the best defense is a good offense.
Yeah,
I mean, it's the
other
same
way
thing.
around.
No, but it was the same thing I said, just in the other order. But anyway, you get what I mean. You play aggressive, and in return, you end up defending your mid lane. Because every time they make the move first and TNC react, it's a win, as long as they're farming, too. So stretch that as far as you can, right? You know you're not playing the high stun teamfight lineup, but if you can get skirmishes going and make TNC move after you, it's good news.
TNC still have more time to wait before they can fight. We actually thought the Cuckoo might go the Blink Dagger, but he went Veil and now is going into the Blink, so it still feels like it needs both items. Almost the downside about VG Gaming, yeah, you could farm up inside your own jungle, but because these tier 1 towers have been taken out, there's some safer areas for TNC to farm on bottom lane, because VG don't want to keep pressuring this. In fact, VG, they're looking for their own kind of movement. TNC is smoked up looking for something on bottom lane. No one's coming to contest that. Once again, VG arrive at the tier 1 tower at mid.
Did you notice TNC's movement there? They started making their own move towards bottom. VG start pushing in toward mid, and they have to cycle back in again. Ice Blast.
Ice Blast, no! Forster pushes Yang out, saving himself. And now the Ancient Apparition trapped underneath the Juggernaut. Sand King is dying in the backlines too. The Maledict, I think, is actually going to end up popping him off camera. Yep, that's what happens. Yule Scepter is just the catch shot. Armel can't move anywhere with the RP and Omni Slash. TNC are playing stuck in the mud, and no one wants to run through their legs.
Perfect fight from them. If Yang could have somehow not been clipped by the Ice Blast, that's the ideal fight. But they still got that on him, so they get the 1 kill. But again, TNC trying to move bottom, Vici immediately pressure mid, TNC cross back, and then they lose that fight and the tower. And it doesn't look like much with a 2k gold lead, but this kind of lineup hits this point of critical mass when Jugger becomes a monster. He is so far ahead already, 2,000 gold ahead of the Lifestealer, and if you keep letting this guy farm up, give him an Aegis, he's an excellent high ground sieger too.
And he's always got so many damn stacks. And we're actually seeing this moment again, so the RP, while the Omni Slash was still going, just gives Paparazzi that triple kill. It's like, yep, okay, nice. Nice.
Ice Blast.
Yeah, looking for Fade. Avalanche, toss combination. This is what TNC wanted. Even though the Blink Dagger gets bought by Fade, he won't lose any money, but they need to be aggressive. And now Lifestealer caught out. He'll rage up quickly. Just wants to run out, but he cannot make it to the creep. The Death Ward able to continue to reach out, not to mention all the Ori buff. That's the first reveal of the Shadow Blade too. He only just got this.
Yep, this is not that common of a Lina build nowadays, but immediately put to use for a great kill. It's a good way for them to catch the Queen of Pain as well, and another escape tool. So, yeah, it seems like every time TNC get even a little bit going. It's like, yay, we got this mag kill. Oh, we lost our carry. So the trade-off once again against them. And now it's a 3k gold lead for Juggernaut. Well, what do you know? He gained another 1,000 in 1 minute because of the kill on the Lifestealer.
He's almost finished his discarding. Like, we're 20 minutes in. He's got enough to pick up the ultimate orb, just needs the money for the point booster now. Ice Blast is flying again. This one will be short. If it did connect, Tims was there ready to go, but he'll deward the sentry instead. Just pressure being applied on all sides. Cuckoo's trying to keep him out of the bottom. He also now has the Blink as well as Veil. Got to bring in this team fight from TNC. And if it's just not a team fight, at least a pick-off.
It's starting to feel a little bit tricky right now. I think they're going to wait for the Lifestealer Radiance, and then that's a timing that they want to try to find a team fight.
They have other items, though, which let them fight. Like, obviously, Ancient Apparition is able to enable Tims, as long as they have a setup and he can go from range with the Ice Blast. But the Orchid build over on Queen of Pain, this comes around the 20-minute mark.
Yeah,
is there enough momentum in TNC to actually justify an Orchid pickup?
It's just not very good, this game, is it? Like, Juggernaut has Manta Style, he can remove it. The Lina has Shadow Blade and Duel, she can remove it, and the Enchantress has Force Staff, so if she gets Orchid, she can reposition herself. There's just very limited plays with this item. I think, sure, maybe you can get the Magnus, or you can get the Witch Doctor, but it's not the way you want to start the fight going on the Witch Doctor. So it's a bit tricky for TNC, honestly. Like, when this Radiance comes out, let's see what they're going to do, because it's one thing to have the tools to fight with. Will you find the fight too? You can't just go to a tower and be like, hey, Vici, come at us. We're stronger than you, come fight us, because your tower push is atrocious. It's pretty bad. Like, Lifestealer needs maybe a Desolator before he truly starts hitting these towers, and he can't realistically commit Rage to do tower damage, because then he exposes himself to getting killed off afterwards.
And he's not going Desolator yet. The Radiance just got completed and Armor's next to the quick fire.
I mean, he wouldn't go Deso second item anyway.
Yeah.
So it's just,
just meaning it's like, it's that time you now have to wait.
This time right now is when TNC's strategy is meant to be ahead and destroying the opponent, and it missed. It just didn't happen. So now you're back on recovery mode, plan B.
Vici's ready to fight. They smoke up. 4 heroes together. Should also flag BTs on Ori, so he's going up to the top lane to push it out, but it's Fade. Gonna look for the jump in towards mid. Tims hiding in the tree lines with Vici Gaming. Just move a little bit to the side. Tims reveals himself. Quick blink away.
Broke the smoke on Mag, but they didn't see him.
Okay, extra TP coming in from Cuckoo. Arriving under the shrine. 4-man smoke from TNC. Probably feeling like they have an opportunity, and they definitely do. Blink, Burrow Strike, combining with the Ice Blast. Enchantress very much caught out. The full stuff, he'll dodge the Ice Blast, but the Sonic Wave has to be committed to put him down while Tims catches DY in the back lines. And that's what TNC want. A chaotic split from VG Gaming, not in the position that VG wanted to fight.
Yep, they couldn't RP there, and they got the easy to kill heroes caught off first. The Enchantress dies very quickly if she gets hit by all this magic burst. And you see what he is quick by. He wants a cloak, just any magic resistance value that he can get right now to try to stay alive. So it's good kills, but still no tower damage. The waves are still not good, and they're going to be forced back.
Vici's going to look to fight the second the two are up again. There's a double damage turn. Ori actually gave his bottle over to Juggernaut, so they're able to bottle this DD for as long as they can.
Oh, quick reaction from Cuckoo there on the blink.
He realized he was underneath the sentry. But this battle for Vision's definitely kicking in now. DY already gets rid of the northern sentry, puts down his own observe ward as information around Roshan begins. Can either team really go into the pit though? Like, can they actually take Roshan without... Because it feels like there's enough of an answer to whoever is first to start it.
If you go in there as Vici, you're kind of risking a lot, because if an Ice Blast flies on top of you, you're setting up the same thing to jump in, you could suddenly start losing multiple heroes in the pit. And if you're TNC and you go in there, well, you have another problem. You can't kill Roche very fast. So
let's see how much damage Ori has got. Tim's actually able to get the avalanche off. Moves into the tree line. Needs 2 seconds. 1 second. Got attacked. Just tosses Tim's away. Needs some more time. Dodging. No, he can't. Here comes the rest of the support. Paparazzi, Yang. They've arrived, and Tims will die in the trees. But there's still a 5-man commitment from VG Gaming coming to the bottom lane to kill off the support.
Yeah. They're going to leave Jugger down here to push the tower, and then I reckon might rotate the Enchantress up once her TP is ready to try to make a fight top as well. Jugger has his ready.
Yeah, look how fast Ori has moved over. Instantly stunned with Laguna Blade. RP comes out. You are going nowhere, Armel. They just used every stun available, and the Lifestealer, who was just around the corner, still was just like, I cannot help.
He can't help. The guy I was looking for to help there when they jump in is the Sand King, but he was showing in mid, so they made it very easy for Vici Gaming to make the decision to go. As soon as you see, this is something we've talked about on previous casts in this TI as well, is the problem you have when you're playing without save is you have to be extra wary of what heroes you're showing where, because you can't buy the time. If your guy gets jumped when you're splitting in multiple lanes, there's nobody who's going to protect this Queen of Pain and keep her from dying. Sand King is your best bet, but he's mid.
That Observer Ward, they're trying to use it again to get the initiation off. Still 30 seconds before the runes are up, but they see that double damage Juggernaut, and they're definitely thinking twice, but there's no RP available, and now the jump comes in. A Burrow Strike being used defensively from Kuku. They're really running scared here, TNC.
Yeah.
Like, if this was TNC with confidence, they would have just instantly gone. That's a double Burrow Strike into possible EP into, like, glory.
I don't know if it's that easy.
If you're TNC,
If they're all there,
if
and
you're
they
TNC, your eyes light up for it.
if they're all there and they hit all spells, maybe. But you've got to be super wary with. If you're committing on Jugger and you don't kill him, he's going to turn around and kill 2 or 3 heroes with Omni Slash. Like that's the kind of Juggernaut game this is right now. He's just so far ahead of everybody else, and they know it too. It's very obvious in the game that Paparazzi are way ahead of the curve. And TNC, I agree with you. They should be trying to find that TNC let's go spirit, but there's always 2 teams in the game, and if the other team doesn't present an easy opportunity, it's easier said than done. Vici Gaming are not giving them many openings to take a fight.
TNC are keeping a close eye on Roshan, because that's the opportunity that they're really hoping for. VG feel confident enough that they can move inside the pit, and it gives TNC that clustered team fight that they need to force VG into. But it ain't happening for the moment. Paparazzi just continues to farm up. That butterfly is rapidly approaching. Ari's having the same type of thing BKB has done.
It's huge, this game.
Oh, he's going to steal the Arcane Rune from right in front of a Kuku. Yule Scepter up. Ari's going to hit the Light Strike array, but a Burrow Strike does get Kuku into a relatively safe position.
And Vici Gaming just keep gaining on the map. They keep split pushing, they keep farming with their Empower. They'll constantly nuke out the mid wave with the Lina. Top lane, doesn't really matter. There's nothing up there right now. Tims will still go there because it's the best play he has on the map is to push this and hope to force a reaction that can ultimately set them up for some sort of skirmish or fight. But again, the pushing threat is not very serious. And therefore Vici Gaming are totally fine with just clearing out the map every 30 seconds, get whatever they want, and play for bounty runes. But right now, they're choosing to smoke. They're seeing an opportunity. Lina's not here. She's showing top, and that's what's kind of setting up their play. TNC, false feeling of safety here.
They just de-water both the Orbs and the Sentry, but Avalanche toss with the Ice Blast. This would be a kill. It's over on DY, but it's DY. He'll buy back. He's a support. That's not what they wanted, but you'll take what you can get.
I honestly think trading his life away for D-Ward is worth it. He is worth less than a ward in the situation, because as long as TNC are playing in the dark, the moves that they need to make are exceptionally difficult to execute. And Vici Gaming can constantly just play around this Roshan area to pose this threat of killing the Rosh or of invading their jungle. The smoke from Vici Gaming, obviously in that instance, did not work out, so that's a bit of a minor win for TNC, but no progression being made as to what will end up winning them this game. There's only one type of play really left that will win them the game, and that's that big team fight where they get the jump. The skirmishes don't really exist anymore, and maybe it could get one pickup here or there, maybe get a Witch Doctor, maybe get an Enchantress, but it doesn't cut it. You gotta aim bigger.
Because there's no sustained damage. Going through the butterfly, like, it's going to be difficult. So jump in, magical burst, just kill off whoever you can, back up, reset, go again. But eventually they'll need to have an answer to Paparazzi. They'll need to have an answer to this insane level of farm that he's managed to achieve.
As the butterfly purchased, he's going to go top, start pushing out, get Empower.
28 minutes in.
He has 60 armor.
Sure.
He's ice armored by what? Ench creep.
Ench creep?
Where's that ench creep?
I don't know. Like,
I guess
must be on the other side.
He probably lost it. He's been taking many creeps as a wolf right now.
Kuku under the cover of smoke. Yang. And that feels like bait. Kuku blinks up, Burrow strikes. Here comes your Ice Blast coming in with the 4-stars. Oryx just pushed away. So is Faye, but he was silenced up, so no RP available for him. And maybe with Tim's control on the back lines, DY can't do enough to really stop him. Here comes Gabby once again, looking for his targets, but the Omni Slash, the damage is ridiculously good. Tim has been pushed away. He does have the Life Stealer inside of him. The downhill fall from the ground with the impetus. It does a lot of damage. He has to hide in the pit. 2, 1, now Blink away to safety.
The illusion
taking
runes
Gabby with him.
We're so close to getting one swing in. If they get a hit on the Tiny, they both die. Huge for TNC to get out of that mess. They still didn't really win the exchange, but at the very least, it wasn't a complete disaster.
Vortex is giving some information. Tim's just had to toss his tree in, but with the Vortex, Tim's, you can see him. He knows he's got an Observer and Sentry around the side, but wait, he didn't realize there was a dire Observer would run above. 4-star! He'll try and dodge the stuns, throws out the avalanche. Here comes your Ice Blast as well. She's going to find inside the pit. Tim's the only one hit by that, and that's an ally. Gabby, how can he get away? 3 seconds till Infest. Up the hill, continues to raid, continues to toggle, and he does have the distance. All right, time jump to Dragon. That'll be a little bit more immune up. Tim's, he's in it once again. Another huge avalanche, but where's the follow-up? Yang, Paparazzi, Ori, they're still up on the high ground. A double barrel strike from Cuckoo is buying space for Tim's. He's just hiding inside the trees. Stay away from him, Yang. No, not gonna happen. Trees are not safety. Tiny will buy back once again underneath the shrine. DY, he's trapped down. Gabby able to get back-to-back kills, but Tim's, who does he want? He's still realizing that there's just vision absolutely everywhere, but now Armel jumps in once more. Looking for a target, won't happen.
So patient outside. He's just waiting on the low ground for TNC to make any misstep so he can blink RP with that empowered jugger.
Back to Roshan. SK prepping the epi, blinks forward, hits the Burrow Strike, over towards Lena. He's under his own sentry ward, so he feels okay inside this sandstorm, but still both the abilities from Ori able to connect. Fade looking for the skewer, blindly attempting to drag him away, but it won't happen.
Still overall a net gain for Vici Gaming in these last 2 minutes with tons of fighting. They're still the ones coming out on top. TNC using buybacks on both the AA as well as the Tiny. And
Don't know how you can actually highlight that entire thing because it kept going on for a good minute and a
That's
bit.
a very long fight.
The Saturmine Steel is watching Roshan. This Observer and Sentry actually down from the Radiant, just north of the pit. That's actually what gave Tiny his confidence to do what he did, but now it's going to get dewarded out. We've got a Gem of True Sight over on Ori. No more hiding. Ice Blast coming in. DY, 4-star, tries to just push him out. Not chilled up the RP. It does catch out Gabby. He's raised up the Sonic Wave. It's huge from Armel. He blinks in with a scream. Cuckoo needs some distance. Barrow coming off cooldown. Now he'll die through the middle of the burrow. And TNC have been fighting in to VG Gaming and eventually had to bite him in the butt. One support for 2 cores, 3 cores.
it feels so hard to play Queen of Pain in this situation. You want to blink in, you want to cast your spells, but you're just exposing yourself to jump up.
Four-star back out again. Take the paralyzing consequence.
And
But
back
still
in.
want you back. Where do you think you're going? A Burrow Strike. Huge from Cuckoo. Combining with Gabby. He actually gets the Infest. And also the Ice Blast Paparazzi. It doesn't clip him. He's just fast enough, but it's not fast enough to run away from Gabby. He's just going to stay right on the back of that one and move to the next target. Enchantress just above Roshan. Ori's trying to force Gabby away inside the jungle and down the hill. Another Yule Scepter. Up he goes. Light Strike Array follow-up. Won't happen. Rage is there to protect Gabby. As TNC are on the retreat. Now it's TNC who forced the buybacks out from VG, Jug, Mag, and Witch Doctor all committing them.
That was huge from them. This combination is massively important for the outcome of this game. If they are to win, that's the play that did it.
They're going to finish Roshan.
Roche.
RP's down, so they're feeling confident about this.
And I think Vici are going to let them have it. They can.
Oh, watch Fade, watch Fade, watch Fade. He wants to jump in, and okay, no, don't, stop watching Fade. It ain't going to happen anymore.
I stopped watching Fate a moment. Alright.
Okay, maybe we should start watching him again. He may actually go down. Overstaying is welcome. The Ice Blast comes in. He'll shatter with a Burrow Strike from Cuckoo. They keep the control up. And Fade is dead for a very long time. He committed the buyback before, so TNC with a fresh Aegis in hand, they're going to push down mid.
Yep. No RP for 60 seconds. And that's the big teamfight tool that they have to be scared of when they're playing into Vici Gaming. But now that it's not available, sure, there's this strong jugger, but he doesn't have power. And power's dead, RP is dead. They might just choose to go high ground with this. It's not going to be that easy, but it's easily the best opportunity they've had all game to do something big.
They need some good wave clear now, VG Gaming. And it looks like TNC, they're not going to push the issue. They're coming back. They're looking towards the jungle. The Juggernaut's already grabbed the bottom lane. It's going to push out with his Manta units.
Man, I would have loved to see them go high ground there. I think this is a missed opportunity. I don't think it's going to get much easier than this. You have this Aegis for 5 minutes. You can start poking this tower, see what you can get out of it while Empower is not there. Now instead, you're going to be facing Vici Gaming at more than likely full force when it happens again. Regne will be smoking for the bounty rune fight. Potentially, if there is a smoke available. There is one on DY. He's not pulling it out, though. Just yet.
Oh, he's spending his time taunting in front of the tier 3 tower with Paparazzi. Just like, okay, guys, let's get back into this. They're actually pinging out where they believe the observer ward is, and they're actually 100% right. The sentry is in range, but someone needs to actually cut through the tree before they'll see it. But don't worry, that's why DY's got a quelling blade. Nope, that's the wrong one.
Wow, it's actually going to stay there. All right. And that's 4 runes for TNC as well.
Tims grabs the top one. Now Hex put to work with Laguna Blade. Ice Blast flying forward. Ori moves away. But the money starts rolling in. Not that much though. Like, we're still changing the graph around. It's about 12,500 being the net worth going the way of TNC. It's back to around 7.5K.
It's back
the
to 5.
experience is swinging up too. It's actually kicking. Yeah, it is. The graph is not keeping up with the board above.
And the win expectancy went from clearly in Vici Gaming's favor to actually slightly favoring TNC now all of a sudden. Big, big loss from Vici Gaming in the last 5 minutes.
Still feels like Vici have a lot to work with though.
They
like,
do, absolutely.
Because they just reset and start this all over again. You've lost a little bit of map control, but you've got everything you need for a team fight.
You do, but if this Roshan situation doesn't happen, you've got the game completely under control. And instead, you open up an opportunity for TNC to get a couple of kills and an Aegis. And suddenly, they now, it's not just, you know, they're getting towers because of this. They got the mid tier 2, they're getting the top tier 2 when everything was on lock. The map is going to feel open. And there's right now it feels like there's a lot of pressure on Fade, on his Magnus this game. He's super good on this hero, but if you're playing against world-class teams, it can be difficult to find that great RP. It doesn't have to be multiple heroes necessarily, but it needs to find the right guy that he can connect the Jugger to, kill with Omnislash, and snowball the fight from there.
Man, Tims, you're living life on the edge when you go and do that. He just, oh, TY, a Fade. Can't get close enough to him. They knew he was up in the trees. He avalanched the Juggernaut underneath the tier 3 tower. Blinks, 4 staffs, TPs, and only barely gets out. But you're definitely seeing like that kind of play. That's confidence there from TNC. That's them looking to have Tims jump in and not even just try and find something now, but always make Vici Gaming look behind them.
Yep.
Play the erratic style of Dota that TNC is able to crush teams with.
So what big... Oh, they saw the smoke. They never dewarded the ward, and they actually smoked at this exact spot. TNC know it's coming. This could be huge for them. They can bait the Lifestealer with the Aegis in front.
Where do you fight? Where do they want to be?
On their own high ground. If they run into Lifestealer, he can just straight run into them and start this fight off.
It seems like a very odd place to throw down a sandstorm, though, because if Vici Gaming see this, it's like, this tornado does not look natural.
Alina does have the Scythe to open with, and they do have the BKB on Enchantress as well, so these new toys for Vici Gaming can become very useful. Also, BKB on Jugger, 10 seconds on him. They don't find any opening.
No, but they did see the Kobold Soldier moving around, which kind of told them that TNC was up near the shrine, or at least one player was. So they were a little bit more cautious about moving forward. So just leave 2 Observer Wards behind. But yeah, man, they really need to find that. The Observer Ward's like, it's 1 minute and 42 seconds away from full duration, but it has definitely done its job. Now TNC can look to fight on their own terms.
Yep.
Lifestealer for the first time as well has actually cracked the top 3, the top 2 in the net worth position. I say that as Ori just gets a little bit more fun, but like,
but yeah, he's caught up, right?
Yeah,
that's.
You're keeping up with the Magnus empowered lineup. Obviously, Ori doesn't get anywhere near as much from it.
Aegis down.
Yep. Waited out the time.
And this mid lane is being a bit annoying for Vici Gaming. We'll have to deal with it. They're actually going to TP back the Magnus. Just full on retreat. We're not going to push out any more than this. We got it across the river and a little bit further on bottom. Time to take care of the lanes. Stabilize again so we don't get caught. And just farm the triangle as well with Jugger every minute when it respawns.
It feels like a lot of safety.
Yeah.
So only a couple of years ago when TNC actually came to the playoffs at TI and started just toppling down teams because they thought, okay, yeah, we'll just keep fighting into them. We'll fuel the beast. And VG understand they just got to change the tempo up. What was it? Like BHA was saying, like as long as you can control up the map area, you'll forever scale with this empower buff up.
Yeah.
But when do you reach the limit? When does Paparazzi hit a point where it's like, okay, I cannot grow anymore?
Well, it's not only paparazzi, right? It's not the classic way of thinking about Magnus and Power with these other two heroes, but both Enchantress and Lina are actually hitting hard. Lina went for a physical build. Went this hybrid where he started with the Euls and Shadowblade, and now he's transitioning with Fiery Soul Stack talent, attack range talent, health, so he's more sustainable in the fights, and now he's going Deathless. So you empower this guy, he's going to hit like a truck as well. And that's the kind of hero that Lifestealer doesn't like to face in late game. It's one that has massive range, can hit him from anywhere he wants, and actually force him out of the fight during rage. That is the worst case for him. And another smoke. Man, these smokes just seem to not be working in this game. Like, nobody is finding anything. They're trying, but Vici are on the exact opposite side of the map.
The only ones from VG who are even in a position where you could have gone was Ori, who was under the cover of Shadowblade and has a Gem of True Sight. So,
Yeah.
like, how does TNC smoke when they can't even keep their vision game up? I like it from VG's warding. What do? They can control up the bottom half of, like, literally the bottom half of their site. Like a little early warning detection plus anything that comes near the Trinity camp, and then a very, very defensive ward on the hillside, watching the mid, making sure there's no gank in the lane. Everything else, they're just leaving to TNC.
It's like a roughly 50-50 split on the map.
Yep.
So not really too much advantage going either way.
But no one has vision on the other side of the map, really, apart from that one observe ward, which is now timed out. Tims. He blinked up there. he'll force stuff down.
Ori's fast. Ori's real fast.
5 seconds. Here's your Scepter up and towards the air. Life Striker 8 connects.
Nice.
And we'll see just how tanky Tims can be. Supports arrive from Paparazzi. Death Ward also being committed. And Tims protected by the Ghost Scepter, but that amplifies up for Laguna from Ori.
Leave the game.
Gonna leave it for 100 seconds. TNC. Okay, so you just lost one. What's your reaction? All right, let's group up and try and fight. Cuckoo's ready in the tree lines. Fade, he's gonna walk into them, the sentry ward. Okay, no, blink into the lane instead. Fade has dust available, so if he wants to jump, he can.
Enchantress is far away though, and they're not really interested in fighting without her. So what they will accomplish is exactly what's being drawn by teams right now. This is where they are. They own this part of the map. We need to start pushing out the bottom side, so they're starting to rotate all their heroes bottom. And in the meantime, Paparazzi and Ori will start pushing out mid with the hope of getting the mid-tier 2 tower and protecting Roshan, which is currently being ice blasted.
He's 1 minute away from spawning.
Yep.
But Vici Gaming, well, if no one's going to defend mid, they'll take the tier 2 tower. Seems easy enough. Paparazzi claims the last hit. And the pressure on bottom lane will be able to reach the tier 1 tower on bottom lane. That's actually not taking a single point of damage. Vici Gaming's off lane tower, Tims. Fire strikes forward, Lifestealer being very patient. The Paparazzi just, yep, fortification actually gets wasted. There's no real creep wave with them. So they just burn it. It does help to push on bottom lane a little bit, but that's it.
I think the backdoor protection was not kicking in at all. They had a creep wave before. But maybe Paparazzi would have still been scared to continue going. I think the glyph was what made him back off, though. So you have to scare him away somehow.
Vici still want to try and fight. They've got this great Observer Ward and Sentry down. There's just no way that TNC can surprise them by moving up. In fact, right now, Cuckoo playing around that exact vision. The RP, the Ult Scepter, the missed timing. This is not good for VG Gaming. Now they can Burrow Strike and turn around to the back line. Enchantress and Witch Doctor already dead. Who's the next target? TP out from Fade. No, he can't do it. There's a Ult Scepter from Queen of Pain. That'll cancel that one out. So Mag will try and run.
I got that.
With the bash on Juggernaut. He can't TP out. Not with the spin. The Burrow Strike forward, even catching Ori and Tims with another double stun. It's just back to back to back stunning. Paparazzi, he'll go up in the air once again. Is there a follow-up connector? There's another bash out from Gabby. He just keeps letting it rip his Tims. Burrow strikes forward. What else has he got? There's a Sonic Wave from Armel to bring down Paparazzi and Witch Doctor. It'll be a die back for DY. Cuckoo's not done yet. He Burrow strikes forward, but he cannot connect on the Lina. One small mistake from VG Gaming and TNC pounce like the Tigers they are.
Ooh, that RP, Toby, that was not good. That was not good for Fade. He wanted to catch the Sanking before you, but they mistimed it completely. I'm sure we're going to get a replay of this.
I'm sure we will, just as Roshan's going to go down to
that is
TNC.
worst case scenario. You want to RP the Lifestealer so you can Omni Slash him. Instead, he tries to RP the Sanking. It misses. We're going to see it here. So just barely. Wait, was that even his own Yule? I think it was, and not the Lina's, hopefully. But
it
and
was,
then this
it was the
Omnislash,
S-case.
unlucky on the Omnislash. If he keeps continuing on the lifestealer with that, maybe he can even kill him off. And then the bash too. Everything aligning for Gabby. He didn't have the MKB. He could have easily hit and missed some more attacks on the butterfly, but they get the bash and they get the good Omnislash RNG, and all of a sudden, TNC are in the lead.
And look what they do instantly too. Infest the Lifestealer into Cuckoo. He'll beat him to the bottom lane. They want to start taking some of these towers. The Ice Blast is checking the tree line, so Gabby, he's just got a little bit of extra cover. Don't have a Tinker Ward, use an Ice Blast. They want to remove all these outer towers. And to think like VG Gaming's early pressure, they're going to be the first team to actually lose all outer towers. TNC still hold their tier 2 tower on top lane.
Yep.
I'm liking this item pickup. Aeon Disc from Enchantress, because she seems to just be going on and just blasted. Not even a chance for a BKB.
You need to find a way for Lina to start the fight, I think. You can't rely on the RP, and you can't really rely on any of that. That's the limitation of the lineup that we've talked about, that they don't have very much in the way of catch. Lina has the Hex, so you need to fight in vision, start with the Hex, follow up, and when TNC respond, that's when you can get that big RP. For now, TNC still seem unable to push high ground, but they made up so much ground in terms of the economy.
Oh yeah, we've moved from a 13,000 to now a 7,000-8,000 advantage for TNC, but the experience graph swings 25 grand. It's looking good for TNC, but can they still hold it? There's still the chance that Vici Gaming, obviously they're a world-class team. If they just get one good fight, we can swing back the other way.
It's a Magnus game. You can't fall asleep at any point. You need to non-stop watch the positioning of your cores. Unless Fade sets you up for success, then you don't need to watch for it. So he has to be a little bit more patient. Just don't jump for these reckless RPs. Even if he lands that on the Sand King and they kill him, he could just buy back a TP on his Shrine, and then you don't have an RP for that fight. So no matter how you look at it, that is not the way you approach this fight.
Ice Blast coming in, Paparazzi's in trouble, the Pyro Strike's already connected, quick force staff, gets Paparazzi further away, he's able to get to the spin, but Fade, he had to sacrifice himself. That's also the gem of True Sight, being lost from Vici without the buyback available. Paparazzi will move up, but Yang also force staff back inside the base. No RP available, BKB burnt on the Juggernaut. Watch that buyback marker. 3 of them are in the red for VG Gaming because 3 of them are all on cooldown. But it's the 2 bigger cores from VG that have that second life.
Great heads-up play from Armel. The moment they went on that guy, he jumped and silenced the Magnus.
And Yang's burning so much mana just to get this little harassment damage into Gabby. They'll pick him up. Protection is there from Aeon Disc.
Oh, good
Man,
damage.
yeah. Hey, remember, he's still got the Aegis C model, so he's fine to tank it.
Yep. Vici are doing everything they can to buy time. They're even sending down a converted Lifestealer Illusion down the mid lane. And that will actually force Cuckoo back. He has travels though.
Yeah, he can come straight back again.
But it's buying that time. Every second right now is about getting Magnus up and alive. You've lost so much damage when this guy is dead. And power is for Jugger, and power for Ench, and power for Lina, and that RP. It's very, very important.
Fun item for Paparazzi to finish. Refresher Orb just sitting in the backpack for the moment. He needs everything to fight, but I think he also understands, like, Juggernauts really fall off once they've already burned the Omni Slash. Yeah. Now he's able to have it twice, as well as the BKB twice.
I think he's going to activate his Omni Slash, and then he's going to swap it in for Phase Boots, and then refresh and go for it again, or swap it in. Yeah, you've got to swap it in for Phase. I don't think you can swap any of the other items.
He needs everything else. Jang, there's your jump in. Ice Blast is coming in towards the Enchantress. The Force Staff will get around. Paparazzi already in the spin. Armel's in pretty deep. BK beaten, also bashed up, stunned up, maybe a little too deep. Armel, he's going to go down. He never even was able to trigger the cheese. Hex over on Gabby with a good play. The RP from Fade. It'll connect with the double life strike array. Stunned up for days as TNC 2T. Gabby will try and run back up the hill. Fade wants to stay with him, and he actually infested. He blinks up to the side. Tims, how many times can he be the get out jail free card underneath the Direct Overlord? They see him, the skewer, it'll cancel everything. Back into Paparazzi, back in the fight. You'll end up losing Fade once again, but he's the sacrificial lamb. Ori's moved in with his own Hex, controlling Tims on the sideline. They'll have to finish one then the other, or Gabby can just go full Artur, trying to actually get more kills. He's picked up the support. Now they're going to focus on him. Tims ready for his own combination. He'll jump in for the 3-man avalanche. Tosses Gabby, wants to fight. The Giannis making it difficult to find kills. Ori protected by the BKB, but Gabby gets the bash up. Still trying to fight this one out. Has he got the damage with the bash on Yang? Gabby wants to be the real immortal. They'll turn back over to Tims. VG Gaming, they just can't decide who they
TNC out from Lifesteal will be successful on 400 HP. Tims, can he get out as well? Back past the creep wave. They can't reach him. They're away.
How many lifesteal moments do we need in this tournament? I mean, sure he doesn't get an X-Stage, but they kited... That was like a 30, 40 second kiting, basically, and they both get out alive. Beautifully done by TNC, apart from the part where they dove the base and went too deep.
The face from Gabby, yeah!
But the end of it was cool, so...
Oh,
Bounty rune time.
You know, this game started off looking like it could be a very one-sided affair from VG Gaming, but here they go again. But Gabby is there. He'll get the hit. The Abyssal Blade's done. Plus the follow-up. Ice Blast. Well, the Yule Scepter will kick in, but straight back down again to death.
The confidence from TNC to send these heroes up there. They're playing 3-on-5 right now in that situation. If there were more heroes from Vici Gaming, that could have been a travesty. They could have just died, both of them. But they took the risk. They get the rune and a kill. And it's a big kill too, it's the Lina. Dead for 80 seconds. This is a bit of a moment of opportunity. No Roshan, of course, but you can at least re-establish map control.
You still have Juggernaut forcing out the lanes, and Paparazzi is still the biggest hero on the map. Gabby is definitely getting good. We're actually seeing this whole little chase again, but you are getting the Abyssal Blade timing arriving for the Juggernaut. He doesn't have enough of a surplus to buy the entire thing, but the other damage is also arriving. The Daedalus is now done for Ori. It felt like an age ago that he started to build into this. But at least it's done. He decided to get the control with the Hex first.
There's more than enough damage on Vici Gaming's lineup. It's about if they can keep heroes in place and kill them. The lifesteal is a problem.
Okay.
He's kiting them. There's Force Staff, there's Yules, there's...
So that's why you're seeing Magnus building into a Refresher Orb as well.
Yeah, that's a bit ambitious.
I just need a second RP, but that's a lot of money.
You don't need the second one, you just need the first one. Just hit it.
If at first you don't succeed.
Just do it, dude. Just RP them. Easier said than done.
Yeah, that sounds like your pub games.
Yeah. Why don't you RP the whole team? But absolutely, Fate. This has not been Fate's best game, though. To be fair, he's had some questionable decisions, and it's also in part been because they consider him a save in the sense that Jugger will go in front, they're going to turn him around and force him away, and then, well, guess what? Fate just gets blink orchided by Quap and killed off. Where it's happened 2 or 3 times. Whenever Mag gets caught by the Queen, it's a huge play for TNC, and I think Fate should be itemizing for that situation. I think getting a Yule Scepter in this game would be very, very useful. But he doesn't seem to be planning for it. He's going for the big item. It's just so far away.
It's kind of hoping the TNC is just going to fight directly
that's a
into them.
nullifier.
But VG Gaming, yeah, they're looking for a big fight if they can claim one. But with the nullifier on Lifesteal, Storm may be disabled up. But Yang's bringing an Aghanim Scepter into this fight. They're able to get the range, the Hex off. They need to get this quick kill over on Cuckoo. He's been such a problem for them with the Blink Skewer back. They have him dead for 100 seconds. Roshan will respawn in 1 minute and 15 seconds. That'll be the next timing to watch, but you still need to get control of the lanes. TNC, they're pushed out top, they're pushed out bottom.
And they're infesting.
Well, there she, of course, you're 1 player down. What do you do with your TNC? Let's go and fight. Do they use any major abilities? No. Does that matter? No. I think the surplus is almost enough for the Juggernaut to buy the Abyssal Blade. Feels like Paparazzi kind of needs that. So much space is being created by Gabby just by getting this initial jump in with Burrow Strike, the perfectly timed Abyssal Blade, and then he's even getting bashes on top of this. Just because of that insane attack speed he's able to achieve.
Yeah, I'm not completely sure about Ori going for this MKB instead of maybe a Lincoln Sphere. For that exact reason. Like, you're getting blink stunned and you die in the fight. That's just the life of Lina late game. You're not a tanky enough hero. Or Tims.
Well, he's just sitting there in lane.
He's
Looking to
trying
play
for
it
it.
out. How much damage have you got, Ori? Putting it to the test from inside the trees. He's a little bit more. Ghosted will protect the rest of VG around Roshan, but Ori's just going to do this solo. Tims is down.
Very nicely done.
And Roshan spawning in 3 seconds time.
I think that was actually a perfect kill. I don't think he could have done anything better.
Look at this from VG. They know Yang's the one that can be protected thanks to his Aeon Disc. They'll get rid of that vision of TNC around Roshan. And they're actually going for more. They're coming over. 4 staff in. That long range damage. That's why Glimmer Cake level of protect is available. He comes in range. That Aghanim Scepter buff up with him power. And
Impetus talent, damage talent, empower, the 2 range items. He 3-shot the AA.
Now they go for Roshan. Nope. Ori wants to finish that top tier 2 tower with Paparazzi. The creep wave will probably do it for them. Well, they're coming back over. They want Roshan still. And the creep wave actually doesn't do it. You've got Cuckoo and now Mel. They have an infested Lifestealer inside of Cuckoo. With the Gem of True Sight, what have we got? There's an Observer Ward to the north. There isn't a sentry, however, but Roshan's dying so quickly. If they don't jump now, they can never jump. Cuckoo looking for the moment. Go now. It's already too late. Aegis Immortal is taken. The cheese is up as well. Refresher Shark grabbed by the Enchantress. She won't want to keep that. That goes to the Magnus. That's how you get 2 RPs. Not buying a Refresher Orb. And he lines up the Shadow Blade instantly too.
It was how Fade was communicating with his team. He was like, I need this item. We need the 3rd Roche. My quick buy. If we don't get the 3rd Roche, guys, you know what I'm buying.
It's like, I can't buy a Refresher Orb, guys. I'm too broke.
Yeah.
That Observer and Sentry needs to get... Okay, well, they'll drop the Sentry anyway. A little bit forward. Yeah, you see the Obs, guys.
This Enchantress is starting to be a really big problem now. Since they can't kill it.
Bottom.
Oh,
Catching out Ori.
that's a freebie.
Yeah, that's the Aegis Immortal gone. Infest Cuckoo, get me out of here. I need an evacuation chopper right now.
Great kill. Very nice.
That's really going to put dampener in the sails of Vici Gaming.
Again.
Again.
Feels like every time in the last 30 minutes that they have a huge advantage.
Ori, he's so close to all of TNC. Just after what happened, the Lincoln Sphere will break. They don't get the opportunity. Oh, Cuckoo! Just so short the RP! Will hold him in the ice blast! It's Gabby! He needs that life! He's a life stealer! Cuckoo heals him up, stun him up, Light Strike Array. He'll get the following stun, even if Cuckoo does change position. Laguna Blade is out. Cuckoo is down. The Gem of True Sight has been dropped. And VG are looking to fight once more. Down through the mid. The wind dropped from the sails, but I'm thinking they're blowing strong again.
He used the refresher already on Mag. He is super ready to go. The call's been made. We're going to fight them again. Jugger, however, did not swap in his refresher orb, so doesn't have Omnislash ready in this RP.
No, but he's still got his BKB, and that's what he's probably thinking about.
Yep.
If he uses it already, he won't have the second immunity. First buyback comes in. It's going to be the SK. Paparazzi stays on the front lines. Spin will give him the protection. Ice Blast will arrive. Tiny, the BKB from Paparazzi, gives him the protection to keep walking. It's a 2-man RP. We'll try and push him away. Ghost Hunter protecting Tim for the moment. The bash is over on Queen of Pain. She can't take with a power strike. Sonic Wave! Layer it on! VG Gaming! 3 players down. It's about to be 4. Yang has no way to escape. And VG Gaming, they thought they could push. They took a tier 3 tower, but that's all they will take. And in fact, they'll have to expend their buybacks. TNC are looking for a push back the other way.
That is a perfect combo from TNC, but man, 3-man RP, you don't have Omnislash? He had it in the backpack, the refresher orb, he swaps it in, he refreshes, and then the fight is lost. If he has Omnislash in that RP, I think Vici Gaming get 2 or 3 core kills. Instead now they're back with their backs against the wall.
2 buybacks burnt. Gabby comes high ground.
That's just some, I don't know, it feels like miscommunication, right? Fate is like, we're gonna go for this, guys. We're gonna go, I'm using refresher, we're taking this fight. Paparazzi's like, okay, but I don't want to refresher my ulti. So if you get a great ulti, I mean, let's see if we can kill them all. And guess what? They couldn't. They needed an Omnislash in that fight badly. And the combo from TNC was just sick too. You have to be very careful as Vici Gaming to fight into any high ground on the map just because of how much of a sudden burst is just going to come out of nowhere. Epicenter with Veil, Tiny combo, Ice Blast, Sonic Wave.
See what Tiny's going for as well? He's got Octarine Call lined up with 9.2k sitting in the bank.
He should really buy it.
Yeah, he really should.
10,000 gold on this support.
Just give cheese over to somebody else.
Hello? Buy your item?
It's 3.4k.
Why is he not buying it? They're standing on the high ground.
It's a very good question, but
okay, he wants to kill the wave. Now he's going to buy it. Surely. Surely now he's buying it. Okay, he is actually.
Yeah.
Nope.
Wait, no. Yes? No. Hang on. Meanwhile, back at the mid fight.
Hey, your entire item is this
like
dude.
we
You
could
just
be
walk
watching
next to sells all the stuff you need.
We could be watching the double RP, but instead we're just watching the small screen at the bottom. But that Sonic Wave, that was sweet.
Perfect combo.
The combo that TNC was looking for. The hilarious thing is, too, like, Vici need to cluster for that to happen. A
Sorry,
retreat down mid lane, that's what happens. You're still just watching him with 9 point, almost 8k gold on himself now.
I'm striking. I'm not casting until he buys an item. Come on, dude.
So, welcome to Cinder and Airlines, where you will not get flown.
10,000 gold, buy an item. I'm getting triggered. This reminds me
of a sentry. Yang. He's trying to get rid of it. They're coming out with a gem. They get rid of the sentry to begin with, but now Blink.
Oh, that's right.
In through the rear. This is a huge kill if they can claim him, and they've got him. Juggernaut is down. Buyback is available. Yang's having a hard time walking away. It's the cold feet slowing him up. Tim's going in once again. He won't kill you with damage. He'll kill you with 10,000 gold.
Maybe he thinks he does more damage the more gold he has.
What is this, gambler?
Yeah.
Actually, wait, that was his ability, right?
Yeah, he had something that was yeah, well, the whole hero was built around gold.
Hence called the gambler.
Oh, okay, he changed his mind. Now he wants to not buy an Aghanims. Yep, indeed. He's just gonna walk past the okay.
Oh, Tim's, get something, please. Buy a moonshot for somebody else.
Yeah,
like,
sure.
Gabby will take a moonshot.
He has 9,000 surplus. I mean, the explanation has to be he's really unsure what the best item is. He just can't decide what he wants.
Can we just have we need to have a conference. The fate of TNC must be decided in a committee.
Okay, so let's think about it for a second. Maybe he's debating if he should go be another core in the game, because he has so much gold that he can actually go Ags Daedalus, for example, and do massive physical damage into the Jugger. Because he was hovering the Octarine and he was like, maybe this is a better way of doing it. Okay, he's gonna buy the Ags.
Okay.
And Daedalus.
That's because Ancient Apparition has already bought his Aghanim Scepter, so he's waiting for the big surprise combination.
He was waiting to have the gold for everything at once.
Yes.
He checked, okay. He pulled out his calculator. It's like, what is... I don't remember how much expensive these items are.
Plus a surplus of 900 gold. It's all part of the plan. This is why you don't question a pro player.
He was hovering an Octarine core for like 3 minutes before.
Okay, that's why you question a pro player.
But yeah, okay, Tim's is dangerous.
Okay, back to the focus.
So much damage now.
Tim's does a crap ton. He doesn't have a Faceless Void to combo with, but that's fine. We're 62 minutes into this game, and Vici Gaming are just trying to keep their lanes pushed out. TNC are doing a very good job of keeping them down. Maybe not exactly where Fave wants to be, but he's checking hillsides with the gem.
TNC ended up not pushing with the Jugger kill too. They actually didn't force a buyback, so Paparazzi gets to have this buyback in the defense.
Yeah, that's a good board to keep up. How many buybacks do you have available? You've still got another 3 minutes to count down for a lot of the Vici Gaming players. But the same thing can be said for the Lifestealer. He's dead for a while. But they're coming out, Vici. They're on a ward mission. Either that, they're on a rune mission, but I hate to tell you, it's been taken. There's no double damage for you. Roshan may respawn in 15 seconds. But they've come out. They're not under the cover of smoke. They're not under any observer wards. In fact, they're just putting down Roche wards. That's what they're preparing for. But Infest into Cuckoo. Is it go time once more? The Radiant scan hits perfectly on Vici Gaming. And they're actually crossing over even further out.
So what Vici are doing is they're leaving the Lina in base, who has Boots of Travel level 2 and buyback. So worst case scenario, she gets jumped and killed, but she has the buyout. Best case scenario, this squad that they've sent out on a mission will find something that Lina can teleport into.
Going forward, there's the jump forward. The Burrow Strike, well off target. Now it's Armel caught. He has to BKB and blink himself away to safety. Yang's looking for the target. All the colors of the rainbow. Going over towards Gabby, dropping him down by half-life. But they got more. Ice Blast, that's coming in a little late. Just don't trigger that one. Actually, no, he did. All the way back at Fountain. Information given. So SKBT's to the bottom lane. Again, TNC just turning this into a side lane push, but Roshan spawned really early. So he's already available for everybody. And this guy comes with everything. He's the supersize me Roshan. Refresher Shard, Aghanim Scepter upgrade, Aegis, and Cheese. He comes with everything. I feel like that's a McDonald's menu.
Well, gotta put it in order first.
Well, Paparazzi, order up. Goes in for Roshan.
TNC cannot
Blast. This will scout out what's happening. Roshan, he's taking a while to kill off. TPs are coming over. Cuckoo's already there. He's already got a friend inside. And now he'll walk out underneath everybody. But where's the catch? Is the Hex already over Armel? Down the lane. The Shadow Blade from Fade. He wants to jump. He bought this item just for this, to hit that 1 RP.
So Ori managed to get the Hex off, but Force Death Glimmer Cape easily saves the Queen of Pain. And we're back to square one. Sandstorm.
Sandstorm blink. Fire Strike catches 2 with the Infest pop-up. They're able to keep the chase going. Who can they kill off? Magnus is low. He cannot be low. He needs to up here right now, but he's muted. Silenced up. 2 heroes down without the buyback. Armel's battling from the high ground, giving the information. Life still level 4. However, Ori, he's just trying to be the leader cannon up on the hillside. Run away. The bounty's not worth the Juggernaut, because Tim's is back in once again with a double stun. The BKB's protecting Yang, and now SK's down. Buyback, you may as well keep this fight going. Tim's got on the wrong side of the cliff. 3 heroes down. Vici Gaming, however, do not have buyback on 2 of theirs, but Roshan, he's not looking that many of his wounds.
Why are all of Vici Gaming's best team fights when Magnus dies without RPing? And all of the worst ones are when they RP? I don't understand, Toby.
They perform under pressure.
Fade, die, and then we'll clean up after you. I mean, of course, the thing is, they do commit a lot of cooldowns, right? They put themselves in a pretty bad position to kill off this Magnus. They use Rage, they use Sonic Wave, and they use BKBs. So, of course, there's a little bit of logic to the madness, but these fights are so unpredictable right now.
They're beating him. Ori also just consumed an Aghanim Scepter, so they're not even that confident they're able to grab this.
They're not getting it, though.
No, they're backing up. They're doing too much of the damage for TNC. Here's your buyback out from Witch Doctor. Where's the initiation? The tree volley arrives, but, well, that's a wide volley. Enchantress runs up. He's not protected by that Aeon Disc. Is still on cooldown. Same for Paparazzi. Both stunned up by the Avalanche. Healing ward down. Paparazzi doesn't have a lot of mana. In fact, he can't even spin and Omni Slash. And now Roshan may even die to volley. Another buyback comes in from SK. Vici, they still don't have the RP Magnus alive.
They got what they came for. They forced 3 buybacks to defend this Roshan. Tiny, Lifestealer, and Sand King.
And the Creepways are pushing in through mid as well as bottom. Yep. So their presence, or their lack of in the lanes, has definitely been noted. Is someone going to finally grab this gem of True Sight? It's just been sitting above Roshan forever. Tree tossing out, Life Stealers inside the pit, Juggernaut, that's a lot of damage you can get in. Yang throwing
Instant
out
hacks.
and maybe now, well, you've actually got the bash out. They're going to get the kill on Paparazzi. He'll fight back, but Roshan's already been claimed. Gabby's trying to grab absolutely everything off the field at the moment. The Aghanim's consumable actually went into the Sand King. So now he's got the extra range. DY looks like he's still got the cheese from before.
All they had to use for that TNC was the cheese on Tiny. That was the only thing they lost. And they take a big win. Paparazzi, I think, was mashing his BKB to use it out of spin. And Queen of Pain was mashing her Hex. And it's about who does it first. And the co-op gets the Hex off. Very, very big in that moment.
Oh boy, 67 minutes in. We may be testing the limits of what is the longest game in TI at this rate, but we'll have to crack an hour and a half to change those compendium predictions.
This game is not even close to over.
No.
Sure, this Jugger buys back after this, but...
Even if TNC take a lane of Rags...
There are plenty of buybacks of TNC that are
hard.
down. They've used 3 buybacks themselves to get this Aegis, so they're not safe either. They're not in the clear at all.
No. But it's Vici who want to fight. RP is up. Who's going to walk into it? Die, get the scan, and man is Sand King. That'll be a huge jump. Lifesteal's inside of him. Armel's right next to him too, but Vici, they don't have the information. As a Radiant Observer Ward that's watching that movement down, playing under their own vision, TNC.
I don't think they had the catch either. Lina was unable to get in. She doesn't have the Shadow Blade anymore, so has to get in and Hex by just running up the hill. She does buyback, so she can take a risk like that, but...
Cuckoo's going for the tier 3 tower. Lifesteal can just pop out. Fortifications unavailable for Vici Gaming for the moment. Well, because now it's popped.
Instant infest again.
Yeah. That means TNC, without that fortification being available, can now push. Get one step ahead of my own brain.
Ori is exposing himself in mid. Not really.
Jump. Ori, they actually break the Lincolns with the Hex. That Aghanim Scepter from Ori does so much damage. Queen of Pain brought down by the Shockwave.
Has buyback.
That she does, but how many of these can you keep burning? If she burns hers, 4 players from TNC will be down. The Courier's going to get sniped out. Because, hey, why not? While Tiny catching triggered up. Fire Strike comes in from Gabby. That RP, he waited. You catch out too. They both jump away from the ice box. They saw it coming in. DY will consume the cheese, giving his life back again. Ori trying to pump through the back of the Ancient Apparition. Still didn't have enough damage to work with, however, but Gabby now tastes all the colors of the rainbow. We're playing Skittle Enchantress, trying to kill off Gabby. He'll infest into Cuckoo. They change the target. Aeon just protecting Cuckoo, and they can turn to kill off Lena Boss Hims. He goes into the backlines, finding DY, gets the avalanche toss up. We've already got the buyback. Queen of Pain ready to fight once more, as you've got the toss. Tiny can't reach anything. Ori, he's cleaning up the creep wave and keeping Gabby stunned up. Vici Gaming, full retreat back inside the base. They do not have RP. The biggest thing the TNC's been scared of, but the best thing VG fight without.
Yeah, Vici should be favored in the coming fight.
You wouldn't think it though. Queen of Pain's dead for so long. Like if she dies once more, and this will be all the space they need.
They get all the bounties on TNC. This is 70-minute bounty runes. These are worth about 1,000 gold each.
What is it? It's, yeah, 180?
It's 900 gold per bounty rune. So 3.6k gold just picked up. How nice?
Yeah, sure.
But again, they can't high ground, it looks like. So you traded off buybacks, Queen of Pain for the Lina. And your Aegis is going to probably just expire at this rate before you go high ground. And the RP will come off cooldown again.
I actually wonder how many Aegises have we had that have actually been burnt? I think we have the one, which was on Ori on the bottom lane.
I think one only.
And that's it. Every other one has timed out, and we've gone through 4 Roshans. And there'll be another. Don't you worry. Melv's looking to be the carrier of Lifestealer for the moment. It is kind of stupid when you reach that point where Lifesteal's like, yeah, I'm not going to pop out of you. There's nothing for me to really farm to advance myself any further forward. Actually, he still can, but he's just got to swap the Radiance in and a Moonshard. Like, that's it. But he's got a Bloodthorn.
Yeah, I think you go Bloodthorn instead of the Radiance. Because at this point, you Bloodthorn nullify somebody and you just blow them up with Sanking. 100 to 0. You can even kill the Aeon Disc heroes if you're quick with the nullifier after the Aeon Disc procs. Although Ench will probably be mashing the crap out of her BKB button.
I'm wondering if Ench actually commits her own buyback money, her surplus. She's got enough to buy the MKB and has a Moonshard ready to consume.
But buyback is the biggest resource in the whole game now. There's nothing more important than buyback. It's bigger than any item. It's bigger than Aegis Cheese. It's bigger than Refresher. Because what this is going to come down to eventually is either Vici Gaming will run out of their base and lose a fight, and if they don't have buybacks, it doesn't matter what items they have, or TNC are going to try to push and you're going to fight with your extra lives. It's a huge resource to have right now. And, well, there's very few people that have that resource. It's 2 heroes on Vici. Nobody on Radiant has buyback currently. There's been so many burnt.
AA is just short of the money, but
AA is the only hero missing gold. Everybody else has cooldown.
Yep. But what does TNC do? Like, you just wait for next Roshan, and that's when everyone will fight. Also keep in mind that, so the Aghanims was consumed on the SK. Like, there's still a Refresher Shard on the Queen of Pain, so double Sonic Waves, double Hexes, double Bloodthorn, Shivas, all that kind of jazz.
Yep.
And she's got the cheese as well.
I wonder if we're going to hit this kind of moment. So sometimes complexity can be a bit too much for you. Like, for example...
Are you meaning the team with Kyle, or
No.
were you meaning what?
Oh, Kyle can be too much for you. That it's not complexity related though. But when it comes to, for example, Shadow Demon, right? When you get level 25 in an Axe, you suddenly have 2 Disruptions and 3 Demonic Purges, and you need to like cycle them correctly in the fight. You want to use them effectively. You're reaching this point with Queen of Pain where if you overthink things and you want to play everything perfectly, you're gonna get stunned and die. Like you have to. You don't have to use maybe every single item in the perfect way in the fight because you're going to overwhelm yourself, and analyzing and casting all of these abilities correctly is extremely difficult.
So
and
what
it's
you're
not
asking
necessary.
for is a spray and pray of
Not
abilities.
necessarily, just don't overthink it. Don't be like, okay, I have to BKB, I have to link in somebody while I'm BKB'd, use Shiva, Orchid, Bloodthorn, and Hex, all my spells, and then I can refresh and do it again. Because something is going to go awry. Like, there's going to be something that surprises you, somebody gets force staffed, and your entire plan is gone. Like, just make sure you get 2 good Sonics off and 2 Hexes. I think that's the biggest thing, maybe 2 BKBs. The Shiva, not important that you get 2 off. The Lincolns, you know, you can refresh it if you absolutely have to. But apart from that, just, you know, don't make it too complicated.
Well, let's see how TNC do it. They're smoking up, so we may get the answer to the level of complication. Juggernaut, the man in the front lines, they're protecting him so hard. It's the Glimmer Cape from DY. Also, the only player who's not 25 right now is DY. Cuckoo wrapping around the back. Vici also smoking out. Roshan won't respawn for another 30 seconds at the earliest. But Yang, he's the bait. The blink, Burrow strike. Out they jump. Out they go rotation. Oh, a huge avalanche down the back lines. Paparazzi and Fade instantly couldn't respond, but now they can. In towards Tim. They want to kill him off with the Sonic Wave. They're all being pushed out of the ultimate of AA, but it won't matter when Magnus is going to pop anyway. Buyback's coming thick and fast. All three of them back up again. And now Enchantress just needs the hills. Actually, it's just Lena with the hillside advantage. They'll move back up. Buybacks out from VG Gaming. They have enough from Paparazzi on the back of the Omni Slash with the extra bash. They just need to hold Cuckoo's there, but they can't do it. Now you're offing! They're able to pound on it. They're trying to stop the damage, but you can't stop it. Armel could only avoid it, blinking away to safety. Fade's got blink off cooldown 1 second time. Armel's feeling like they should already be there. Out of all of that, with the buybacks that were committed, there's still only 2 heroes who are down for the count.
They finally had a team fight with 2 Omni Slashes. I think that's the first time in the game that they've managed to accomplish it. Paparazzi gets Omni Slash off, the Mag buys back, gets an RP, and they have the second Omni ready to go. But somehow, TNC didn't lose more heroes in the second Omni Slash. I think Queen of Pain just barely got out of it with the blink.
Oh, Yang, the Burrow strike. He was going for the rune right now. He's actually going to be bloodthorned up. And how much control have they got? Your Scepter arriving. Fade, he may need to help out. A quick force up. Yang's going to BKB. Armel blinks himself forward. Well, that's not complicated, but that's daring. They still want to go for more. Infest, delivery system right now. The blink Burrow strike. Cuckoo got 2, combining with the shadow strike. They just fear them up. Enchantress, Paparazzi, they're trying to BKB and get the hell out of here. Buyback's not really a bell for anyone apart from Paparazzi. Magnus, he's actually cold feeded up. Armel just beating him down with the daggers. Juggernaut will also fall. No life, no mana, no teammates. 3 players for VG Gaming pushing up the daisies. TNC, now they need to force the issue. They know the buybacks are on cooldown. They're going for the tier 4 towers. They're going to end this game right here, right now.
And it's all because Vici Gaming wants to get this bottom bounty rune. They're not that important anymore. They could have maybe held for another 10 minutes or more in their base, who knows, but now they don't even get the chance. GG.
That's it. They just call it 76 minutes in for, well, an anticlimactic end. All for a bounty rune, all for greed. But TNC, man, they felt like there was opening. They chased it. They looked so far behind in just the early, like 20-25 minutes into this game. The probability didn't look good for them. The goal, the experience didn't look great. But a couple of great fights playing around VG Gaming, and TNC claimed game 1 in this winners bracket quarterfinal.
I did not think they were going to come back into this game, but they managed. It was an absolutely crazy game.
Yep, I want to see more, and we're going to get more. Game 2 soon.
There it is then, game number 1 in series number 2. TNC Predator take the game in just over 75 minutes. Not quite the longest game we've seen so far at the International 2019, but pretty long, it has to be said. We've got all of our men back, ready to bring their thoughts. Gents, first of all, over on the draft panel.
Woo! My goodness, what
was that?
Game. Just everyone, Tim's and Gabby styling on him near that secret shop. You had it just Fade with these blind skewers over and over, canceling ultis to use it on multiple heroes when Lifestealer jumped out. It was crazy.
Lifestealer was just spending like the last half of the game just chilling, cracking the knuckles inside the Sand King, and the Queen of Pain's like,
Didn't
whatever.
care.
Didn't hit a creep.
Didn't hit a creep.
He had Radiance.
He was passively hitting creeps, and what a comeback. Gabby and I can't, like, Gabby, Tim's, Armel, Cuckoo, all of them, it was just an amazing comeback on such a grand stage like this.
I couldn't agree more. Also, you know, guys, it's always fun seeing teams make mistakes. I know you shouldn't, you know, we don't want to see them make mistakes, but it causes cool stuff to happen in the game. And we saw plenty of that in this. Both teams making mistakes in the team fights.
Absolutely. I like when I see teams that are really like relentless to team fight, even when they have a man down. I think that's when you catch teams off guard a lot of the times. Like you see that one of the situations when Vici goes for that Roche, and then they got full wipe for that 10K swing. I feel like that's one of those where I see TNC do that a lot. They're like, we only have 4 heroes up, but this is where you have the opportunity to really just change the entire turn tide of the game, and that's what happened.
All right, let's take a look at the stats from the game. I'm sure there are plenty more to look at here. We've seen some fairly high damage results in previous games as well. One of those records, actually second place, was set by Gabby, who did plenty of damage in this particular game. 13-5 and 22 on him as well. Armel 18-7 and 16 as a pick out on the Queen of Pain. Dendy, you said to me in the green room, we were watching, and you look, it was 25 minutes and you were kind of like, is this game over? I said, is this game over? And you were like, well, could be. But if they go past 40 minutes, TNC have a chance.
Well, if you look at heroes, at first, when you watch heroes, you only see one Naix as a carry hero. And when you have Vici gaming with Lina, Juggernaut, and it's all empowered by Magnus, and when there is Ange who can pure damage hit into Naix Rage. So when you look at it, and the way how game was going, it was going into Vici favor, we were gaining lead, I thought, okay, it's probably, we're probably gonna win. But when there is a thing about Queen of Pain, for example, that if game go late game, she have a spike because she get level 25 talent, she get this fear and stuff like this. And also TNC playstyle, we have 4 cores. We don't have 3 cores, we have 4 cores. Team somehow getting a lot of items, and then he's doing a lot of damage. Like we just saw stats, he dealt like 40k damage or something with his Tiny. That's crazy.
Right, I'm gonna get more. I know Cap, you haven't said anything yet, but we're gonna catch up with you in just a moment. Still got, of course, the second game to come here in Shanghai. And talking of Shanghai, earlier on I saw Casey speaking some Mandarin, and I was like, how do I learn some of that? So let's find out how she learned the Mandarin.
Here we go.
Numbers.
Yeah. Follow me. Say 1, 2, 2.
Chen Lao Shi. Chen Lao Shi.
Oh my God! You cannot call me Chen Lao Shi 2. Do you know what does that mean in Chinese?
No. What?
Oh my God! What did you do?
I don't know what I said.
Oh, that's very fun. If you call somebody the meaning is stupid.
Well, that is useful.
No. We're only 5 minutes in, and you've already managed to insult the one person who can help us speak Mandarin. 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3.
4 5 6 7 很好，很好 ，very good， 很好。
Hey guys, we're gonna hold on for a second. We have a little audio issue.
Okay.
Cut in for a second.
No, it's a real class, and then we're gonna actually we're trying to show people that.
Oh, now I look kind of like an asshole because I am bringing materials. It's disrespectful.
Yes, it is.
Listen, I didn't know. I didn't know it was a real class. I'm sorry. Can I have some pieces of paper?
I don't have very many pieces left.
You can spare 1 slice.
I can't possibly spare a square. Hang on.
Okay.
Oh, I found one.
You have a pen?
Pop quiz. Quiz. I will give you number. You need to quickly react.
Quickly?
And ding, okay?
Oh, God.
Who ding first? Who say and get money, okay? Ready?
Yes.
好了吗? Say 好了.
好了.
好了, ready?
好了.
好了. Yeah.
5.
Yes.
Oh, no.
Very good.
Thank you.
Wait a minute. I need to get some of this money.
That's not true.
Why did you get money?
I won.
9 10 8.
Wow. 5块.
5块.
Yeah, correct. 5块. You pretend very angry because the tone go down. Boo. Yeah, very standard pronunciation. 多少钱？多少钱？多少钱？
多少钱？多少钱？多少钱？
太贵了，太贵了，便宜点儿。
太贵了，太贵了，便宜点儿。
Welcome to my shop. 80块，便宜便宜。
太贵了，太贵了，便宜点儿。
3块。
不可能。不。
安迪尔3块。
10块，10块。
10块。
3块，10块。10块。
Is my friend bothering you?
Ready?
Yeah.
It's a real dance now.
I'm
Ending
good.
part.
I'm good on the dancing.
左边，
左边，右边，右边，前边，前边。你好。
You guys really did good job. I'm so proud of you guys. Now I believe you have the ability to go outside, go to a real world, go to China to talk to the native speakers.
谢谢老师
Congratulations,
再
I'm so
见
proud of you guys.
再见，谢谢，
再见，再见，再见。
Very good, very good. I think their manner has improved even more since then as well, because we've been hearing them out in the crowd as well. Gents, have you learned anything?
I've learned that Slacks is actually okay at dancing. I thought to myself,
Yeah, some moves. Yeah, they look nice. Yeah.
for such a big guy, he's able to move around. And it made me think, like, I kind of want to see more from that dance. I kind of wanted. I remember we've got quite the dancer here on panel.
He's a
I would love
great
to see Dandy
dancer.
do that dance.
You got some moves.
Whoop.
Oh.
Whoop.
Oh, see?
I can't
Pass
do
it
that.
off.
You can't do that?
I can't do that.
Yeah.
No.
Have you picked up any Mandarin? No?
No.
No.
Whoa.
Yeah.
I picked up
5.
that one.
Yeah. Well done. Dendy?
I can help.
Yeah.
你好.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Very good. Very good. Shishi.
What was
more.
boo? Boo was no. With the angry under.
was no.
Yeah.
Boo
Yeah.
was 5. Boo.
Woo.
Yeah. Woo.
Boo was no.
Yeah. Woo
was
was
5.
5. Woo is up. You have to sound like an upwards kind of
Woo.
thing, right? Yeah.
Woo. Good job, panel. Good job.
Thank you.
I don't know if our other panel are as clued up or as good with the whole, you know, Mandarin. No. Cut it. Okay, come back. Well,
I thought Boo was cheap. I thought it was Boo was cheap, and I thought Tim's was looking pretty Boo.
Oh,
Because he's cheap. That Sand King was overpowered.
Maybe.
The way that he was playing it, I can't believe it. It was that game. I didn't really think that TNC had it in them.
It's a
We were
bonkers
all
game.
ready to go on back, and it's like, all right, it's another 1-0. Just
Yeah,
quick,
do you know
quick and dirty.
the last person to get back to the panel? Do you know who it was? Dendy.
Dondo, the super
Dondo,
meta.
because he knew.
knew.
He's like, I've got this.
He
I understand
knows.
this isn't done yet.
He knows when it's Dendy time.
This is going to be 74 minutes. And then he was like, boom, he's back by 74 minutes.
Wait. So how early you arrive at the panel determines how knowledgeable you are?
Yeah.
All right.
Red Eye's
So
the Herald.
I have a confession to make. I was first.
Yeah, I was
second. Hey, but I saw a lot of the drafting panel here, like a good 40 minutes hanging out.
I was sitting here the whole time, so I don't know what this is about me, but...
Grant never left. Grant doesn't want to leave. He's just like, I don't know when I'm going to be back. I could be back in like 11 minutes or 27 or 33. I don't know.
Nice try, Grant.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. We should look forward, Fog, to getting number 2. That was a great performance by TNC because they could have lost that. There were plenty of opportunities for VG to clean up in there. It felt like VG played a little bit scared in that first game.
They were
tentative.
A little bit. It's really that big swing in the mid game that happened. They had a 15k gold advantage. They lost that like one fight around Roche, and it really just turned everything. I got to cast a lot of TNC games, and I've been seeing TNC with Gabby playing that Lifestealer. He's been phenomenal on it. Like every single game they play, somehow it makes it to like these later stages of the game, and he just goes absolutely berserk, just putting the team on his back. And
yeah, it's very difficult, isn't it, Cam?
Yep.
I mean, let's talk about, we started off this series and we said what to look out for TNC. I said shut down Cuckoo. You said, concerned about like Cuckoo's overall hero pool, right? And you named 2 heroes, Bat Rider, Sand King.
Sand King.
Like, oh man, he turned up in that game. Like, it was just beautiful.
All right. Teams are ready to re-enter the Mercedes-Benz Arena for game number 2. TNC versus Vici game. If you're just joining us, these two teams going head-to-head in the quarterfinal of the upper brackets. The only matchup that doesn't match the same quarterfinals that we had 12 months ago in this upper bracket, which is going through and guaranteeing themselves, by the way, we haven't really talked about the money too much, but there's a fair bit of money on the line, guaranteeing themselves a top 6 finish, which is at this stage already to guarantee one best of 3 in the upper bracket to guarantee yourself. Such a relief as well for these teams. Dendy, you've played in this format, you've gone through, you've won TI obviously. You want to stay in the upper bracket. You don't want to go down the base. Exactly. Dangerous down there.
Yeah, upper bracket is, I think it's super important. It gives you too much. And lower bracket is so scary. Best of 1, woo! Oh. So yeah, those guys, they can try out things, they can try out some sneaky strategies and stuff like this. They have the opportunity to do so, at least for 1 game.
Yeah, I mean, that's what TNC have got now, Cap, but the other way around, not so much. Vici, no more mistakes.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they would be... I saw shock, honestly, when they found their Roshan contested and like the way they played afterward, they just looked a little shell-shocked. And I'm a little bit concerned going into this. It was a long game, and there was a lot of cool plays back and forth, so maybe they've warmed up a bit again. But I was just a big concern for Vici Gaming in that last like 20 minutes after the Roshan. They just seemed a little shook and weren't sure like how aggressive they could really be against TNC. As you said, TNC always seems to surprise and when they're actually going to take that fight to you.
Exactly. I think that's like the most thing I've seen from them all year, because even dating back to, I think like even KL Major, there was some games where they would just, it would be a 4v5 fight and they would just take the fight, or they'd be playing with 4 heroes versus 5 with an Aegis and they'd go snipe the Aegis and take a fight afterwards. It's really impressive when they choose to take those fights. For me, I think for Vici, I think Fade, he played fantastic this game on the Magnus, but I want to see him on something that's faster paced. Because I think we didn't get to talk too much about him, even like in the opener or anything. And I think he's really crucial for Vici when they start getting the ball rolling. If he's using these long cooldown ultis, if he's playing these type of heroes, I feel like he can't actually play his absolute best.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to bring too much up about the previous game because we're going to look forward to the next one. But there were a few missed RPs in there, and actually it seemed like Vici did better when he missed. He's like, when he didn't land the RP, they had a better team fight somehow. How does that work? He's supposed to be better, isn't it? And then he had a 2-man right at the end, which really kind of got them back into the game. So a little bit inconsistent, needs to be more consistent.
It was very, very hard for him because if you look at Vici draft, and if the game go late, TNC had Senkin Quop, which are mobile heroes, and Vici, they don't have much disables. They really rely on VSRP too much. So it was all about VSRP. So he needed for sure to control Nakes at least, maybe sometimes Quop, whatsoever. So it was a very hard game for him and very hard decision making.
Having a like plethora of stunts in the late game is honestly just OP, right? Because when there's so much pressure on one person to be able to perform, and the enemy team knows that too, and they're always set up with one thing I noticed, like TNC just had beautiful like counter initiation. There was a sort of freedom that Cuckoo had to be able to constantly go in, right? Because he's got the life stealer to be able to jump in, but he always had like an ancient apparition, Ice Blast that was going to follow him in. There were so many things that could follow up, right? That he could just have that freedom go in when he saw an opportunity. I don't think that same opportunity was there for Magnus. He was always thinking to himself, I need the 3, 4, 5-man RP to win this fight.
Yeah, I also like the tiny transition. We're kind of waiting. What is he going to buy here? Is he going to buy anything? He's got 10k gold. What is he going to spend it on?
Dendy, do you like the change that has happened for Dota? I think that's something that people are a little inexperienced with, that late game 25 talents, these new Aghanim Scepters, stuff like that.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, it gives more variety to the game, so more strategies can be used and so on. So it's just more bigger chessboard for you.
All right, good stuff. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for game number 2.
Versus Game 2.
That's right, gentlemen. Game 2. I'm here with Gunnar and Grant, aka Granthony Grantano. It's a pleasure to have you guys here again. And if you had to look at that last game, sift through all 70-something minutes, are you going to respect ban either of the heroes on either of the teams?
I don't know if it was like heroes, more so whichever team went high ground lost the fight.
Yeah.
VG walks mid, they go high ground, they lose the fight. TNC walks up, they get RP'd.
There wasn't a Rax taken until like 70 minutes into the game almost, or something like that, which is crazy for a game like that.
I would say the AA you possibly think about, because let's be honest, you have a 5 position in the late game. Do you want a Witch Doctor and AA? You're going to take AA every time. And TNC, as Dendy brought up a while ago, they have like the longest game time of every single team. So eventually you're going to have this really, really good hero who's good against cores, even though it's a 5 position. So I think the AA you might take out.
They played it similar to Navi. I casted a lot of Navi games in the group stage, and they would always pick AA. And they would pick some hero like Earth Spirit or Axe, and these heroes, and they play off this AA off cooldown. And I think TNC did the same thing.
Yeah, they did. They missed a few of the ultimates, which was right the 4 staffs from Yang early game getting out of the AA ults, but eventually, right, you're just a spinning jug, and AA blast hit me. Uh-oh.
And that's one of the things that we were most concerned about at the beginning of the draft, that the potential for that lack of a heal potential. And they're going to go right back for it. Again, like while it may not have brought them success in the late game, they still managed to win in the late game with this hero. Ideally, though, TNC likes to operate in that 30 to 40-minute window, I suppose.
Yeah. I think, I don't mind it as much now. I don't know why they, honestly, I'm still going back. I have no clue why they picked that Witch Doctor into the A, but now you have a Shadow Demon, another hero who scales very well. That can be 5, 4, or possibly even 3, doubtful, but I enjoy them. Yeah, why not? I mean, this combo did so much work for them last game.
It's so much magic damage. You burst cores if they BKB, the jug would spin, or and then once the spin's over, they just combo him and he dies.
That's the thing. They always had Roche. It's weird because the other team had a mag, but you had the AA blast into the pit. You had the ice vortex on the ground, and a Tiny, right, can just blink in, toss someone out. They had Roche control that whole game, even though there weren't that many Roches.
We're seeing like a different draft already from Vici. They're giving Yang Tidehunter, I believe.
Yep, and that was first banned last game.
Yeah,
yes, it was.
So it's kind of different from the Enchantress. It's the opposite. It's a tanky frontliner, where Enchantress is a squishy backliner. You want to throw your spells in, your auto attacks. And then the Shadow Demon's obviously, like you said, a better scaling core than, or the support than the Witch Doctor.
And it sets up. That's the biggest thing. Like Witch Doctor, you throw your stun, they can just run away from it, honestly, and get away. This, you put someone under, it's going to force reactions. You can force TPs back up, or you can just fully commit as long as you have another stun.
That's why TNC bans the Lush next phase to, the lane of disruption into stun. You get a kill.
And some of the other setups, Mirana was already first phase banned by Vici Gaming themselves, but there are plenty of other combinations that you can do with Shadow Demon. Kunkka is still available in the pool.
I think Vici might want to ban the Lifestealer here. It's fairly good against Tide. If the Shadow Demon is trying to kill him in the lane, he has Rage. It was also really good, like well played by Gabby last game, I think.
Yeah. He got his Radiance, I believe it was like 20.5 minutes in, which wasn't that bad. He had like one bad death, but then once he got that, they could just move around the map, and I think just slow down TNC. They're going to get to that 30-40 minute mark. They somehow always do it.
So one thing I was curious about, Gunnar, is the break mechanic I thought was something that made Nyx Assassin rise to prominence very quickly, maybe around 6 or so months ago. And ever since then, he's kind of fallen off, even though I see a lot of heroes that are susceptible to the break, like the Tidehunter. Is there any reason why you think that heroes like that, or even the Silver Edge buyers, aren't that popular against heroes like Tidehunter anymore?
A lot of more heroes give more teamfight from the 4 position than Nyx, and like we said earlier, like Shadowblades are out of the meta.
Right.
Same with Vendetta. There's heroes that are not really in the getting picked off anymore, so it's harder for him to find a support or even a core in the side lane and pick them off with Vendetta. I think it could be okay for TNC.